There is a fresh crisis that has now emerged in Manipur. In a major escalation, there are weaponized drones that are being used to attack civilians and security personnel alike. Insurgents have fired bombs that have torn holes in the roofs of civilian houses and have also attacked a post of the India Reserve Battalion, injuring a police commando. In all, there are 2 people that have been killed. There are 13 reportedly injured. This is the first known instance of weaponized drone attacks in India. With this, a new front has emerged as an all-out Manipur proxy war rages. These drones are equipped with rotors, allowing them to hover and capture images, which helps the insurgents to track the targets. They can carry explosives such as hand grenades and mortar bombs and can operate from a distance of up to 15 kilometers. Security forces have now launched a joint combing operation, and the NSG has been called in to address the new threat. Additionally, the central government has formed a committee which heads the Army's 57 Mountain Division, the Manipur Police, the Assam Rifles, the CRPF and the BSF to examine the use of explosive-bearing drones. But the serious questions arise: how did the insurgents get access to these drones? Who is helping these militants get access to such sophisticated weaponized equipment? And how can detonating the bombs be available with these insurgents? Who is training these insurgents to operate these drones? And what do we do now to tackle this escalation? Let's start off our conversation. Joining me on the telecast is Major General G.G. Dwivedi. Let's start from you, sir. And you know, this is a threat and a massive concern, because never in the history of India have the Indian Armed Forces ever been confronted with this new form of warfare, the drone warfare, something that has been witnessed, reported in Ukraine. There has been a recent attack from the Ukraine side into Russia, which ended up destroying properties in different parts, including Kursk. In Russia, drone weaponry has also been utilized by United States of America, primarily in Pakistan and Syria and Afghanistan. But this is a new phenomenon that has happened. And was it an expected phenomenon to have been witnessed along the border in Manipur?
Absolutely, Megha. I think introduction of drones, this is the first as far as India is concerned. And it's very, very disturbing, because this will lead to a further escalation. You mentioned 57th Division. In fact, I did have the honor to command this division in Manipur from 2004 to 2006. So I can give you certain amount Megha, from last May 3, 2023, Manipur have been on the boil, and it's about a year and now almost 3 months. That situation has gone from bad to worse. There are a couple of reasons for this. You see, when I was commanding the division that time, the Manipur problem was between the security forces and the militants. But today the problem is between the 2 communities. It's the Zomis, and it's the Kuki Zo and Metis. And it's a political problem, and somehow the state and also the center is trying to solve this problem through the military means, which is not going to happen. The 2-3 things which now merit attention. First and foremost, you said that how the drones and these sophisticated weapons are coming. Well, there's no dearth, because around northeast there are hostile forces. We are now today Bangladesh is hostile, Myanmar. There are enough hostile inimical forces, and of course the China angle. And today it's not very difficult to get the sophisticated weapons, because there is a weapon trail that runs along, and it runs especially in the northeast. The second point is that as the 2 communities are at each other's neck, so they are exploiting, they are exploring new ways and means to cause damage to each other. And this drone attacks from September 1, 3 of them have taken place, has actually added a new dimension, because these drones are carrying explosives and they are damaging, or they are causing damage to life, human life.
Yes.
And incidentally, 220 people have lost their lives. And the third point is the locals have lost faith in this government, because it is being seen as the government of Metis and not this government of the state. So I would only recommend 3-4 important points. Firstly, this solution is only political solution. Armed forces can only bring in certain amount of stability, and they have been doing that.
But I understand. You said talk about the ethnic conflict and the people not having any confidence in the state government any longer. But I think the larger question over here is, and like I said, again, a point of concern that cannot be sidelined is the fact that there is drone weaponry, sophisticated weaponry that is being utilized. Till now, there are only civilians that have been attacked. There are going to be more attacks that are going to be orchestrated, and they could be targeting the armed forces. Are we equipped currently to counter these attacks? Do we have enough artillery in our hands to strike down these drones before they cause the destruction that they do?
Well, today only I was reading the statement of DGP Rajiv Singh, and he said that the local police is not in position to handle the drone menace. Absolutely right. For this, you require central forces. And ironically, Chief Minister's MLA son-in-law doesn't want the central forces there. So there is a huge dichotomy. But armed forces can handle this situation in case they are called to. But today, 57th Division is only in support. It's not handling the counter-insurgency operation. But seeing it's a national problem, I think it's time that the armed forces must step in and curb this situation before it further deteriorates, because Bangladesh today is a major point of concern, and the inimical forces there will only add fuel to the fire. I think this situation needs to be handled now by the central agencies. It's no more in the hands of the local administration.
Okay. Major General Sudhakar ji, again a question, up until now, as I said before as well, that the drones that have been utilized and have been sent by Pakistan into the border, into the Punjab border, they have been done to airdrop weapons, airdrop drugs. And I'm going to just list out for my viewers what is the capability of these attack drones that are being utilized by these militants, tribal militants. The drones being used are rotor-fitted quadcopters which can hover and capture images. They can be operated from a distance of 15 kilometers. That's quite the distance. These drones can carry a range of explosives, and the level of training militants has with regards to how they operate the weaponized drones is a massive concern. So the question arises is, where are they getting these drones? Are they manufacturing it indigenously? If they are, how did they know the technical know-how and sophistry to manufacture these drones? Fourth is about bringing in the weapons that are then equipped in these drones to have those targeted attacks at the armed forces posts and the civilian areas in Imphal and the roundabouts in the periphery of Imphal. And the fifth question, how do we curb this?
Megha, good evening. Thank you for getting me to the show, and I must compliment you for having picked up the theme. I think NewsX is the only channel which has picked up the theme yesterday before any other channel could pick it up and discuss. So compliments. And the questions which you have asked, I'll tackle them one by one if you have time. First and foremost, I would like to flag the issue that no issue related to security can be discussed in a comprehensive manner in isolation. You got to join the dots. There are many things which are happening locally, regionally, and globally. Hence, we need to actually look at it holistically. The first and foremost is globally. Why is it happening? Why the Central European battle ingredients have shifted to the eastern flank of India? Is there something wrong? So we need to answer this question. The question is that there is much more that meets the naked eye. So what is that much more? The much more is Thucydide trap. What is Thucydide trap? Thucydide trap highlights one aspect, that any established power or any ruling power will never allow a rising power to come up to its level of capability. So where is the finger pointing at? without any ambiguity, the finger is pointing at the established power. That is the superpower. I have no evidence. It's only the logic. Second, regional. What is the regional power doing there? Regional power wants to have access to warm water ports of the Bay of Bengal. And the CMEC, China-Myanmar Economic Corridor, has to be fully operationalized. Plus, the Act East policy of India at all costs should be denied as far as the national interest of China is concerned. Is the regional power successful? Whether successful or not, it is trying its best. What about the local battle which is ongoing? Yes, that is very alarming. My recommendation to the government of India in response to the questions which you have raised are following. Firstly, it's a critical issue. It's a national issue. Politics has no role in this. The national security expert, I would like to submit myself. I'm a student. Two of my senior DSS are sitting there. I have no right to actually give out this perspective in contradiction to anyone, but make me feel independent to air my thoughts. Politicians have no role. It is too serious an issue. Therefore, the military specialists who are domain experts must be allowed to come inside, calm, compose, consolidate, collect the thoughts, pick up the facts and figures, and try and understand what has happened. Till date, notwithstanding the figures that you have given, Mega, we are still not clear whether the platforms are actually been man-made or it has been imported ex-factory. My reading and research indicates the following. First, these are the similar kind of platforms which are being used by the militant outfits. There are 26 of them in Myanmar, and they are fighting against the Tatmadaw. Unfortunately, the running dynamics, the evolving dynamics in Myanmar is also undergoing change. What is the change undergoing? The Tatmadaw, which is to operate on behalf of China, unfortunately, as per the reports coming in, have also become the victim. They are being targeted by the PLA forces or the rebels together. That means the rebels are being supported by China. So is that true? I don't know. But these are the inputs. Who are the key components? To jump to a conclusion of cookies and Mai Tai, in my opinion, would be unfortunate at this juncture. If we jump to that conclusion, well, my counter argument is that it is a historic misunderstanding between the two tribes. If the misunderstanding was so predominant, why then prior to 2023 May, why there was a lull and period of total lack of violence for 9 years? There was a SOO, suspension of operations, signed in the year 2008. Thereafter, for good 9 years, there was no shot fired until the 3rd of May 2023. Similarly, prior to day before yesterday, there was a lull period of 4 months. Comparatively, I would say, what has gone wrong? So what I'm trying to come to is that there is an external angle, and taking advantage and exploiting the factor of differences between the ethnic tribes, primarily or especially the cookies and Mai Tai. But to bring in cookies and Mai Tai would be encouraging or giving fodder to certain speculations. Therefore, we need to play it down. We need to keep our eyes and ears open and identify the primary stakeholders who are posing a threat to India. Last but not the least, what is the countermeasure? The countermeasure is to firstly investigate accurately. Till then, we need to redeploy our resources. What is the first resource coming to my mind? First resource is air defense dominance. We need to have our air defense resources, not artillery guns, to actually pick up these things, these kind of semi-autonomous platforms, and neutralize them. Number two, if the air defense resources are scanty, what best next can be done? The central forces which General Dwivedi has highlighted, they must be allowed to come in as expeditiously as possible, because a new front, new warfare has come up.
Yeah.
What is the new warfare, Mega? Last line. Nobody will understand what I'm going to say. I have just come back from Dehradun. I try to bring it out. The dimension of 6G warfare is on in Bangladesh and India. What is the dimension of 6G warfare? It will take another panel discussion to elaborate, but briefly, it is epistemic. Epistemic means the foundational historical data are being changed. Number two is the cognitive domain, the mind of the human. The human minds are being hacked. Number three, the cyber warfare is ongoing, and that is hacking of the computer, which is rampant. When you have time, if you come back to me, I'll explain further. Back to you, Megha.
Okay, all right. So let's also get in Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni into the discussion. And how do we tackle this again? You know, are our armed forces equipped to handle the drone attacks. This has never been done before. We've not been able to succeed because we've never even encountered this. And keeping in mind the Home Ministry is now taking control of it all, there are committees being formed. Is that enough?
Thank you, Megha. You heard both my panelists, and both of them have come out with fantastic suggestions and the why such a thing has occurred. Very well. At the very outset, I must tell you, yes, the armed forces are fully prepared and they know exactly what is an anti-drone warfare, how to go about it. It is nothing new. It is not something that is just cropped up. Everyone's been seeing all of it. You've seen, you yourself have stated very clearly how drones have been used in Punjab, how drones have been used in JNK, how drones have been used in Ukraine war, Gaza, you've seen in Armenia, you've seen in Azerbaijan, you see it all over. If you can have the drones used for, functions and for spotting and getting to know where the traffic is and what's going on, the drones are there. That's the means which are utilized, and therefore it's being utilized for destructive purposes is something which was always known. Nothing. If it can drop a packet, a parcel anywhere, it can also drop a bomb. So nothing very unusual about it. Yes, what is very important is that Assam Rifles is equipped, knows drone warfare, can handle anti-drone. Nothing that it cannot handle. Why is it that we don't know? He also can fly drones. It is from the same hill of Kangpokki that the drones have been flied. Time and again from 2:30 till 9:30, the same hill was being used. You know where that hill goes. We know that 1,643 kilometers of line. We know exactly where the Chin state is. What is the connection of the Chin state with the Kukis? We know where Mizoram is. Everything is known. There is nothing that is not known. What is more important is that yes, there is some sort of a concerted now a kind of a committee which needs to be formed. We must all be on the same table. We must all understand, whether it be the army, whether it be the central paramilitary forces, be it the Assam Rifles, be it the state, be it everybody and anybody. Everybody has to ensure. If this is situations like in Rwanda, where we were as part of UN, we could sort it out over there and they themselves could sort out a long-drawn ethnic problem. This ethnicity, I was there just before that Miss India contest took place in May of 2023 at Imphal. Suddenly things can't be going wrong. Yes, ethnicity is a cause, but more than that, there's so much happening. In Myanmar, for instance, like both the panelists stated, Myanmar army controls only the central Myanmar. The rest of it is in the hands of the rebel groups. Rebel groups are those supported by the Chinese. The Chinese are supporting the three brotherhood alliances over there, who in turn have all the capabilities. If they can overthrow virtually the Myanmar army from its power, which it is capable of, the Chinese are trying to play a duplicitous role over there. Much that it wants a power in Myanmar, but at the same time it wants the Myanmar army also to play a role so that the rebel groups alone don't wield the entire power. So China is there. China is only ensuring that since our relations with China have gone down south, it's absolutely bad. Chinese are exploiting the situation. The ethnicity is not the only thing. Now it's gone much, much beyond that. The central government will have to take charge of it, leaving it to the entire state government, expecting the state government to resolve the dispute between the Kukis and the Metis. I think the time is all over. It's over 16 months. They couldn't resolve it. Now do you expect them to resolve? And now when the drones, things of warfare are going higher up, we know the hills are in whose custody? The Kukis are controlling the hills. Who are controlling the planes? The planes are controlled by the Metis. All of this being flown from where? From the hill. Obviously, we can also fly here. So now, like what you rightly said, all these drones have capacity to go extended ranges up to 15 kilometers. They are quadcopters which have the rotary capacity. They can not only hover, they can take photographs, drop bombs, see everything what has to be done. This is nothing. This is off the shelf. Everything is possible. It's not very expensive. But what is required is determination to ensure that things don't go bad. Because right now, we know what's going on in Bangladesh. We know what's going on in Myanmar. Both these countries are our neighbors. We have to ensure that China is playing a great role in that. There's another role from another countries also playing into Bangladesh and Myanmar. All of it worked out. We have to see that the security of the Northeast is very much in our control. And much that what may be happening in Manipur, it hasn't gone totally beyond something that it can't be repaired. What are Kukis and Metis? They've been staying together for centuries. There was nothing new. They were there, as I told you, I saw all of it in May of 2023. I was attending a function over there, and just it can't transfer into such a bad state of affairs. And therefore, we have the drone capability. We can handle it. We can fly drones to know what is happening where, and therefore, the time has now come for the central government to take charge of the situation and not entirely leave it to the state government to handle it. Because state government, if their DGP seems to feel that he does not have drone technology and the Assam Rifles have, the army has, then it is best given it to the central government now to tackle the situation in Manipur rather than giving it to the state government.
Okay. BL Vora also on the telecast with me. He's a former DGP and Home Secretary of Manipur. Thank you so much for joining me. And Amit, as my panelists all highlighted this point, there is this ethnic conflict that is being witnessed. There are tensions between the people of Manipur. They have trust issues with the state government not allowing central forces to come and take control of the situation, the armed forces to be brought in. Amidst all these fissures that are being created, there is the enemy state that is taking advantage. And when we talk about India's neighborhood, and particularly in the eastern part of India, where Bangladesh has become volatile and very anti-India after the change in regime, we talk about Myanmar, where there are the rebel groups that are also anti-India that continue to have insurgents brought into Manipur. How do we tackle this situation? How can we ensure that there is a cohesion and unity that is witnessed in Manipur between the state government and the people, between the armed forces and the state government to fight the common enemy?
There were a couple of points. Of course, my distinguished colleagues from the army have mentioned some of the best points. I don't wish to repeat those. But few things I would like to definitely say on this. Now, number one, they have picked up a soft spot. Northeast has been a soft spot. It has been a neglected spot always over the years, and it is not only recently. And now, especially Manipur was allowed to be on the boil for since last May, as we all know, and nothing at all has been done. Situation in the neighborhood, Bangladesh, China, Pakistan, all those people are there. Now, number one, see, a new dangerous element has been brought into this warfare. Criminals now, that means, have started using drones. Manipur has shown the way to criminals, not only in the northeast, but to all over India for that matter now. And police all over India has to be equipped with that, and police is not equipped at all. Manipur police, as it is not a very efficient police. I'm sorry saying that, though I've been a DGP there myself. So the problem is that firstly is to revitalize the police, then to equip the police, because it's not the work of the defense forces, let me tell you very frankly. They are there for a limited purpose and a limited area and all that. This is one, this dangerous element there and now spreading all over, which is a wake-up call. And I said, secondly, of course, is soft valley. About the political situation, yes, there is a need for a political solution. There is a need for a diplomatic effort. It has been neglected all through. For votes, the chief minister has not been changed. I'm sorry I'm saying so. We have so many demands were there. The entire political class, the ruling class, the bureaucracy, the police, everything needs a total reshuffle. And bureaucracy and police officers must go from outside. But of course, from outside also, there should be competent people who must go there. I think this is very, very important. I've seen and worked there. The way things are, the way things have been. I first went there in 1980, and I've seen those places many, many, many times in the Northeast. I was posted as DGP Tripura also. So what is required? Let's come to that at the moment now. Committee is fine. But I think a top priority has to be given to Manipur by all the agencies of the government, including the political class and the diplomatic class. I think we have neglected it too much. It's time now that it must be given a top priority. Others are there, but yes. If we don't tackle the drone menace soon, it's going to spread, let me tell you. These militants have no dearth of money. They have thousands of weapons looted from Manipur police. We all know that. And there are agencies like ISI and China and all who are willing to fund them. Training for them and equipping them is not a problem. Even Myanmar also, as my colleagues have said that. So I think this is top priority, including the political solution that I have said. Now, the last point I will say, the intelligence agencies have to play a very, very big role. I think how I am surprised they didn't know about it. This means that there is some lacuna somewhere. And there are all these agencies have intelligence. Local police has it, the Assam Rifles has it, the army has it, everyone is having, the IB is there, RAW is also there. So I think it has been a very, very big failure. So that's why I said all agencies, whether intelligence, whether they're diplomatic, whether they are political, whether they are armed forces, CAPF and all, they all have to put their best foot forward. And a lot of resources must be put in, not only money-wise, but otherwise also. Megha.
Okay.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.